post-racial. I think it's about the framing of the issue. I think if we would say post-white, which I think is really what has happened, you know, that's the fear that we're post-white. And so instead of being dismissive of that, we're dismissive of everybody of color, of black people. You know, every color is, you know, kind of comes from black. So post-racial means, you know, code word, a way of getting rid of policies, a way of making excuses. We don't need affirmative action. We don't need this. We don't need that. And I'm like, you know, it's not the first time. It's the first time we elected a black man, but it's not the first time we elected a black official. Right. Right. And so, you know, we could just take those instances and be reminded that, you know, the whole world didn't change just because we had a black mayor or a black governor. Or, you know, and when we talk about hip hop and young people, when we were just in East Tennessee, right, East Tennessee State University, we had a group of, you know, a mixed group of people that came, and their biggest question around post-racial was the fact that most of the white kids on campus call each other nigger. And some people felt uncomfortable, but because the majority thought it was okay, the minority of the people wanted to be like, well, how do you tell them? We're not really down with, you know, them calling us that. And even the black people said, you know, yeah, sometimes, you know, they call each other and then they'll call us that, and they were uncomfortable, but they didn't know how to address it. And that was like their question to us. And that was just so like, ooh. And East Tennessee State, I thought would be a very small place, but it's 14,000 students. Of that 14,000 students, 600 are students of color, only 600 out of that 14,000. They're right there by the Appalachia. You know, so it's a real different type of community. And, you know, kids, I mean, so when we got to post-racial, it was more about these terminologies and how to, so I don't think, you know, yes, it's a more integrated school systems and people are closer, the environment was different, but I think it's funny, you know, how I grew up somewhere where it was, you know, I went to that, you know, they always talked about, we're a melting pot. You know, we're here, we're a melting pot. And I was like, I never liked that analogy because it talks about losing my identity, and I don't want to melt. And so I go by the fruit bowl or the mixing bowl or the salad bowl or something. I want to be, you know, that tomato or whatever. I want to be a little different. So when it comes to post-racial, I just think it's an excuse to be dismissive of people of color, specifically black people. And if we started saying we want, this is a post-white America, how would the conversation go?
Or, oh, sorry.
So